Wow. Get the out of here. Canelo Alvarez. I was born ready. Payday. You want payday. Hey, I know that. May have possibly just ended Billy Joe Saunders' career. He is contemplating retirement after Canelo versus Saunders, and I'm tired of it. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Listen, hit the subscribe button. I drop daily boxing heat. If you love all things boxing, some UFC, the sweet science, the one and only, the greatest sport in the earth, the whole world, Craig, smash the like button. I drop daily, do live streams, pre and post fight breakdowns, let you know about upcoming fights, boxing knowledge. We have a great community here. If boxing is your thing, do yourself a favor, smash the like button. This is your one-stop shop for all your boxing needs. That's all you need, baby. So smash the like button. Now, link in the description. You see on the screen, it says decision. Billy Joe Saunders reveals he is contemplating retirement as he breaks silence for the first interview since Canelo Alvarez's defeat. Insists he didn't quit. I think he did quit. That's just my opinion. Now, says Billy Joe Saunders has talked to Talk Sport, and it says the Brit endured his first defeat as his corner ended the fight due to a fractured eye socket. Saunders has hit back at suggestions that he quit, blah, blah, blah. In the aftermath, Billy Joe posted on brief social media statement, but has now given a full interview to Talk Sport. Explaining what he's been doing since the loss, he says, quote, "I'm just coming down from it all, having a good long think and enjoying the kids' time, really." He says, "I went into surgery. I had a broken eye socket," right? And he says it was broken in 3 places. Now, right there, that sounds like, I don't know. I just don't trust like Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders with all the gypsy tricks and stuff. I don't trust what they say. You know, they put out comments and then contradict themselves and stuff. So he's doing an exclusive interview and he says it's broken in 3 places, right? But I remember, right? I remember right after he hurt his eye, right? They came out with these pictures and hold on, I'm trying to think of the term. Give me 1 second. So you got to pay attention. Listen, Billy Joe Saunders, I remember after he first fought Canelo, I was born ready, right? He said that he had a broken quadruped eye. There was like pictures and stuff that came out and it said a broken quadruped. Here we go. Look, Billy Joe Saunders suffered quadruped fracture to orbital bone and loss versus Canelo Alvarez, right? So right then and there, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but you know, I went to school, got good grades, and you can tell the root word quad stands for 4, right? You see that on the screen. If you look at that root word quad, right? If you had quadruplets, you would have 4 kids, right? Watch. Right? Quadruplet. Each of 4 children, right? So, just so you guys see, the root word. Quad, 4th root, right? But right here, this is why I don't trust Billy. It says it was broken in 3 places. Let me highlight it for you guys. It was broken in 3 places. So my thing is this: is it a quadruped fracture like was previously reported, or was it broken in 3 places? Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's already an inconsistency. Listen, I'm not no doctor, but again, I know the English language, right? So right then and there, and then on top of that, Billy Joe posted a picture or video on his story right after the Canelo fight, and did look like nothing was wrong with him. So I don't even know if he has a break. We haven't seen anything. Like, we haven't seen, like, for example, when Inoue fought Donaire in a war, right? He needed surgery. There are pictures all over the internet when he had a suffered eye. He suffered. We haven't seen anything from your boy Billy Joe Saunders. So look, so he's pictured with the doctor. There's even, look, he went live at the doctor's office. Look, told you. Donaire was commenting about it, but he had more. Look, so you can see like he getting checked out and all types of stuff. We never really even seen nothing with Billy Joe Saunders. And then again, there's an inconsistency. It's a quadrupod fracture, which stands for 4, broken in 4 spots. Now they're saying, guess what? It's broken in 3 places. And I feel like if you're going to rule that it's a quadrupod, meaning 4, eye socket fracture, then where'd you even get that term from? Like, who put that information out? Because obviously you would have seen a specialist and they told you. So I don't trust Billy Joe Saunders. Let's keep going. I've got some plates. I'm like the Terminator now. They got me full of metal. As soon as I got home, I just took time out for our family, enjoyed the time without any boxing. It's been nice, right? He says, reflecting on the fight itself, I've had a load of people say you were doing well. We had you up 1. I thought he lost every single round. We had you level, we had you down or whatever. But Canelo is a world-class fighter. He caught up with me with a world-class shot, so you got to give the man credit, respect. I've been in these situations and done it to opponents before, and I've took plenty of credit for it. So you got to give it back to them. Canelo, he's a very, very good fighter. He's very good, very tricky. When I got in the ring with him, I thought, is this it? I expected more. But I suppose everybody's going to be like that into that sort of fight. So how are you going to say you expected more and you're contemplating retirement? Weird energy. He broke your eye socket and you expected more. All right. Midway through round 8, blah, blah, blah. Saunders stooped low. Canelo anticipated his movement, countered, perfect right uppercut. Bro, that boy Canelo said, ooh. Billy Joe recalled, when I got hit with the shot, and I remember it was very, very clearly. I thought, ooh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. And I started bouncing about, but my eye had dropped down. I could see like 2 or 3 all the time, and I realized after 30 seconds, it wasn't my leg, it was my eye. It was a bad injury, and an injury I thought I'd never get, but you never know what's going to happen in boxing, blah, blah, blah. It said, when it came to end, TV showed Saunders shaking his head in the corner and speaking to assistant. Mark Tibbs waved off the contest. This led to many suggesting he quit, a claim he says is inaccurate. So regarding did he quit, Saunders responded, as a fighter, I wanted to go on. I sat down and I could hear Ben Davison telling me in the corner that it was over. Before I sat down, I was shaking my head to say no way. So now he's saying his body language didn't show that, but whatever. He's saying he was shaking his head to say no way, don't quit it. But he's been an amateur boxer. Just tell me this sounds credible. He's been an amateur boxer turned pro. He's a 30+ fight pro. He's been a pro for a long time, friends with boxers like Tyson Fury, etc. And you have an injury and they're asking you if you can continue, and you're going to shake your head as to say no way, don't stop the contest, instead of using your mouth. Bro, Canelo hit you in the eye. I can understand you could say, oh, that's a gruesome injury, but your mouth would still work. If you wanted to continue and you know the rules of, you know, any kind of professional contest like boxing, you know, then you would know that your body language has to suggest whatever you're saying, or you can still use your mouth. Now, there's fighters with broken jaws that still fought. Muhammad Ali is one of them, you know, the iconic, and they fought with broken jaws. So that impairs your ability to talk. Yet and still, back in the day, when Ali was fighting, they had 15 rounders. He fighting Ken Norton with a broken jaw. Like, how does a fighter to talk, you need your jaw, you know what I mean? To accurately talk and talk. So how is he able to keep going, but you have a damaged eye and your body language is not showing that? So I believe Billy Joe Saunders quit. You could suggest whatever you want, but this is all damage control. He said it was the right stoppage. I can't argue. I know my best interests are at hand. Obviously, it's gutting. No one want to lose. Gut wrenching, but this is a sport of boxing. You can only ever say the better man won on the night. That's it. I would love to see how the next 4 or 5 rounds were, because I put so much heart and effort. That's the sport. He said my team were doing their job. You know, this is why it's just looking bad for the UK boxing scene, because they're deleting interviews and removing interviews from the net and putting out this heroic story that MTK fighter Billy Joe Saunders just wanted to keep going and go out on his shield. He looked clearly done. He didn't. I don't even know if he threw a punch for the rest of the round. That's that's it. You know, you could say whatever you want in all these articles. No, we didn't stop it and all that, but the world's seen it. And that's why I think he's contemplating retirement. I'm there to go on all night. We take a step in that ring. So this is damage control, because when Daniel Dubois actually couldn't continue, he razzed him about it. You know, he's like, oh, what are you doing quitting? You know, it's going to be a hard road back. Look, Billy Joe Saunders, I'd rather go out without my pulse, I'd rather go out with my pulse stop than to take a knee like Daniel Dubois. So you quit in your corner, and then now all of a sudden, it happened to you, you know, and this is why you got to be mindful of karma. When it happens to you, now all of a sudden you have all these justifications. No, I was shaking my head. No, as to say no way. Canelo beat you. It's over. You know, he just has to decide if he wants to retire. Canelo, since the Saunders fight, the man, no golf, no life. He's out here boxing and enjoying, or he's golfing and enjoying life and getting married and stuff like that. And Billy Joe Saunders is facing recovery. The bottom line, so I can wrap this video up, Billy Joe Saunders talked a lot, created havoc, wanted a bigger ring, wanted to get under Canelo's skin, and it was Canelo in the end that got the last laugh. The man scheduled his wedding knowing he was fighting Saunders because he knows Saunders was easy work and that Saunders wasn't going to be able to hurt him, and this was the inevitable outcome. So, you know, whatever Billy Joe Saunders decides, I'm sure we'll hear about it, but to me, he quit. At the end of the day, he could say whatever. He's having the damage control because he talked about guys like Daniel Dubois, and he created this havoc. So now, you know, just like a true Karen, this is what Karens do. They create all this havoc in the gas station or on these videos online, and when it doesn't work out for them, then they have a gang of, like, you know, excuses. And when the public finds out the video that Permit Patty did this or the barbecue Becky, and then they're on the news crying because people are sending them nasty messages and stuff like that because they were showing this ugly type of behavior, and it leaked to the mainstream. So people find out your whatever IP address or your username, and then they send you nasty things. You know, that's the reality of what I see here. Billy Joe Saunders talked and he couldn't continue. Even Daniel Dubois, who he says, I'd rather go out without a pulse, and he quit and all that. Daniel Dubois already bounced back and came back and got a knockout victory in the second round against Baghdad Dinu. But Billy Joe Saunders out here talking about, oh, I didn't want to quit and I'm thinking about retirement. Other people, Kell Brook, so basically, so realistically, I'm a chocolate brownie. He had a bad eye in fights with Golovkin, and then right after, his other eye got broke fighting against Errol Spence, and he still pushed on to later fight in a couple of fights. So he had multiple fights, but then culminating with his last performance against Terrence Crawford. But now you have Billy Joe Saunders, who's like talking about packing it in. So, you know, it's just, I expected this. I knew Canelo was going to win. I picked him to win. I didn't fret. I didn't panic. I knew Canelo was going to get to him. And it just goes to show you about some of the UK fighters that do all this talking. You got 30 plus fights and you're undefeated. Then the first sign of danger, you get beat by a Mexican fighter in this case. And then now you're talking about retirement. This is exactly what happened with Prince Nassim. Am I lying? Prince Nassim Hamed, and this was one of my favorite fighters, but Marco Antonio Barrera had his number, another Mexican fighter. So when you fought a world-class person, this is Prince Nassim. And then if you look at his history, after he got schooled up by Marco Antonio Barrera, look at this punch. Look, after this fight, he retired. You know what I mean? So another English fighter, and it really played out exactly the same. So we'll see if Billy Joe Saunders pushes on and tries to continue. But Antonio Margarito had a bad, nasty eye versus Pacquiao, right? And he still fought guys like Cotto after that, right? So look, Prince Nassim, he had a hometown fight and he retired. So after the schooling from Marco Antonio Barrera, another Mexican fighter, he fought one fight in like a farewell fight, hometown fight, and then he retired. So maybe Billy Joe does the same thing. Canelo, you know, he's a beast. The man knocked his eye up, and then he drinking Hennessy. Hennessy, you want Henny? I know that. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Billy Joe Saunders, and I think a lot of it is based on his personality. Where do you really go from there? You said, oh, half the Mexicans don't like Canelo Alvarez. This is not a matter of opinion, people. This is how Billy Joe Saunders, this is his conduct. This is his conduct. This is how he acted, and then now he's looking and look, half of Mexicans don't like Canelo. So you say all these stuff, and you say these things, and then Canelo knocks your eye silly, and now you're talking about packing it up. Good luck. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how I did in this video. We work.